I don't know why I cannot find a normal manga. For some reason, I happen upon finding manga that is just outright unhinged, and then I sit down and I'm like, do I really want to read this? Do I really want to read this series after clearly how trashy it potentially could be? And I'm just like, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to continue reading it. And this series called Okaeri Papa is just, it's something else, man. Like, this is legitimately quite a manga I discovered yesterday, and I want to talk about that because this manga legitimately took me by surprise because it's like at that perfect level of unhinged and just enjoyability that you just cannot drop it until you catch up with the current chapters. Now, what is this series about? Well, as you can clearly see by the title and the thumbnail, you probably have a good understanding, especially when you see this picture here. But basically, Okaeri Papa is about a new father, like a stepfather, going into a family with a mother and her daughter. And, you know, at first glance, when you first start this chapter, you start reading this, you know, it seems very, you know, just wholesome. It's a very wholesome beginning to the story. But then as you keep reading it, there's things that start to seem off, so to speak. Like when they're under the table, you can see that, you know, the stepdaughter starts to put her leg slash knee up against the stepfather, and you can see what's kind of going on here within this manga, what it's trying to imply. And as, you know, the chapter continues, you have this whole little thing to where the mother's like, oh, it's a bother for you to suddenly become a father, and then, you know, they make up, as you can see here, and then you see the daughter literally spying in, and it's just like, yo, this manga, man. This is literally how the first chapter of the series concludes. And there's follow-up moments like this that's just straight up like, what the hell is going on? You have stuff like this as well, as you can see here, where it's getting even more intimate, so to speak. And then you even have a yandere moment where it showcases her true personality, that anyone that gets in her way of her papa, so to speak, you know, you're gonna cease to exist, so to speak. So, yeah, let's kind of get this all in order so we can fully understand. So we have a manga about a stepfather and a stepdaughter having a relationship while a mother is involved, and the stepdaughter is a yandere that will do some outright despicable things just to get what she wants and protect her potential love interest, so to speak. Now, overall, at this current point, I gotta say, I don't know if this is going to be, like, an NTR manga or anything like that. I have no idea. But I'm just saying, from what I have read of it, it's quite the read. It's quite the read. I wanted to talk about this because, like, when I saw this, I was just like, yo, what? Like, this is actually some wild stuff. And I decided to take a look at who wrote this. I was like, okay, who wrote Welcome Back Papa? Like, I'm legitimately curious on the mastermind of this grade A 10 out of 10 manga. And apparently the person that worked on this is called Simimaru, which is doing the story and art. And as you can see, they've worked on a few other works in the past. Like, they've worked on a few here, which I want to be completely blunt, I have not read these, so I can't say for certain if they're good or not. But apparently they've had a few works they've worked on, but they're relatively new in the manga industry. Because as you can see here, they have something that first released in 2020, so it's only been about 4 years technically since they started. So it's not really been that long. So yeah, they're a relatively new manga author unless they've had a pen name for many years prior to that. But yeah, overall, I mean, truthfully, if you're looking for something that probably is going to interest you with a more unhinged nature, then I gotta say, give Okaeri Papa a read. Like, it is more than appearances, it's more than just this, obviously. Like I said, it gets into a psychological nature, gets into kind of like just unhinged yandere stuff, and if you're one of those that really love those type of stories, you're probably going to enjoy this, especially if you're someone that's now watching this video, and you're probably curious, okay, since this is happening, does the mother know? What's going on with the mother? You know, is she going to find out? What happens if she finds out? Is it going to rip their family apart? There's a lot of questions you can gather from these early chapters, and it's just like, what's going to happen next? But overall, fire manga. It's a pretty fire manga, but I'll leave it at that. I wanted to briefly shout this series out, because I managed to happen upon it just randomly, and I was like, you know what, let's just see what the entire community feels about this piece of work. Do you like it? Do you not like it? Are you gonna read it? Are you not gonna read it? Let me know in the comments below, and if you go and read it, come back to the video and let me know. Did you enjoy it? Would you keep reading it, or are you gonna drop it? Tell me what you would rate it. But anyways, be safe, everyone. I love you. Chibi out.